All right, got a no cooling car. It's got a Lennox communicating system, and we're getting a low pressure alarm. What's going on with it? So you got a low pressure alarm?
We did yesterday.
Okay.
I did a power cycle evacuate, but I know that's not the best thing to do.
Yeah. But when you got the power cycle, it started running and
It started running, and I didn't get the error again.
okay.
It actually deleted the error from history too, but I have a picture if you need it.
Okay. Yeah, let me take a look at the picture. I want to get the exact alarm code. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think I spoke with your wife and I did tell her to turn it off.
Yeah, I did.
Just in case. Okay. All right.
Off.
Okay. Let me test. All right. So I'm gonna start my way in the attic and work my way down.
Okay.
And then I
So
check
the
the
attic
pressure.
is over here.
Okay.
That's
Okay. All right.
I did change the filter yesterday because I noticed it was. I mean, the first thing I checked was is there blockages?
Yeah.
That's why I replaced the filter.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna set this to about. What do you normally keep it set? Your temperature?
78 or something.
78. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, for testing
Yeah.
purposes, do whatever is needed.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try to. I'll remember.
So far,
set it back
this, I guess this year it didn't work really hard because it was never too hot anyway, and we keep typically at 78. We never bring it down.
Okay.
I noticed that if that code didn't come up, we wouldn't have even noticed that it's not working as good as it should.
Yeah, but you would know when it's warm up outside.
So after that code, I started digging into it. Check the temperature of the exhaust outside and
the line thing.
Yeah, and it wasn't cold at all. That tube, whatever, copper wire. I know from the past home I had that has to be cold. Sometimes it gets frosty.
Yeah, we call it beer can cold.
So something is wrong.
Okay.
That's very.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll check it out.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll probably have to delay on it. Icing up there. Take a picture of this coil. Oh, there's a big house. They got a zone system. Furnace is a SL280. All right. Yeah, it's gonna be low. Oh yeah. So my liquid line is cold, and my suction line is warm. These are the zones. So we got a thermostat upstairs probably. Close this back. Oh man. Freaking lock caps on here. More getting that money. You know they install all these units out here, I bet you. Like a newer neighborhood. Let's see if we can get this lock off here. Got that liquid line already off. Yeah, I hate to come out here late at night or something, or don't have no key anytime. 216. Document that. We're gonna do a leak search. Alright. I wonder if I turn it off out here. I'm gonna do a visual leak search over here. Yeah, that's just blowing cool air out here. Look at our temperature probe. And this probably gonna be ambient air. So if you didn't have refrigerant gauges, something like that, if you're a homeowner or even technician, I do it sometimes. If you're just blowing ambient air out here, you know it's not cooling. But think about it, that's probably a variable speed compressor, and it's hard to hear. So even if you check your temperature, let's say if it's 70 degrees and I'm getting about 72, 74 coming out of here or something like that, you know it's probably low on refrigerant. But that could mean your compressor not running. But when you have your gauges, we know our compressor running, so we got 65 and 215. Alright, so that's what I was saying right here. This needs to be at least anywhere at least 20, 30 degrees above your ambient temperature. Probably 79 degrees. We're only getting 79. So I was hoping to disconnect out here, man. It's an expensive house, it's an expensive neighborhood. I'm about to say they don't have a disconnect out here. Alright, so I'm gonna pull this right here. So it's 73. It's 5-degree temperature rise there. Okay, like I said, they're gonna take a look around and see if I see anything obvious out here. So I'm just looking at all like the U-bends on the copper coil out there, or looking at that filter dryer. I don't see anything out here. So before I take this apart, we'll go inside. I'm gonna do electronic leak search. All right. Give me some light. I see oil residue right here, man. I think it's gonna be right here though. So this leak detector right here, the line probably goes straight across. When they go up, see that fan just kicked on. Low pressure up here. Might need to put me some nitro in there. You can see that oil. I see it shining down there. I can see where it jumped right there. If it's not flatline, I can see that. I'm gonna have to put some more pressure up in there though. Jumping just a tad. It jumped right there. I seen it at the end. It's gonna be a small leak. I'm put some pressure in there. Yeah, ain't much pressure in this coil. And it's a warranty company, so exactly. Put nitrogen in here and pinpoint it, but I really don't have to pinpoint it because it's oil all on the bottom of here. I kind of want to at least get some relief and charge it up. I don't think it'll take that much. I don't want to have to put nitrogen in there and charge it up. Top it off. I'm gonna put some nitrogen in there. Yeah, I can see it though, but that's oil. Like I say, so because you know outside I got like 60 psi, so you know when you get up here the pressure is gonna drop. And it's just not enough for me to get that I have to pressurize more, but I ain't finna do all that. I think I'm gonna top it off for him. And that'll hold until I get back. I like to top it out too because that'll buy me time too to get everything organized. But like I said, it's one call. This today Thursday. Storm front coming in Friday, so they'll definitely be without air for the weekend anyway.
This is the only concern here. Can there be multiple leaks or something?
I mean, it could be, but typically not. That's the leak that I found. I did a visual leak search out there. Everything looked dry out there. 9 times out of 10, if you didn't have any other problem, that's it. But
and why does this happen? Like,
just like anything, normal wear and tear.
Is it?
Yeah,
this is not a very. I think they replaced this in 2022 or something.
Actually 2023.
Okay.
Yep, 2023.
So
yep.
it can happen in a few years, really?
I mean, like I say, I'm not the manufacturer. I don't make them. But some last a year, some last 30 years.
Okay.
You know, it's hard for me to say.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah. I'm not. No, you're not getting on.
Yeah.
Get the expert opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is at least good news in the sense we know the cause, right?
Mm-hmm.
But from you, when
no, you just contact your warranty company, and you'll hear from me once I get approval and call you to schedule. Look at all that, man. Y'all know this overkill. I need all this cool new house. That board go out his over with. Unit though. I don't know, man. I might have to give me something like this. Y'all know I got that rude. Worry about my bed running the loud as I'm. It's quiet here. Get no perfect charge on there and get them above freezing. It's about 80 degrees out here, 142. We ain't going there. What model this is? 5 ton, 135 on the suction. Alright. Alright, 118. What we gonna do? 85. All right, these back people, I'm gonna wrap this one here up. Got a leak in that evaporator coil. Just topped them off, tried to get them by. You got a home warranty and let them bounce some time. And we'll come back out and replace the coil. This is a good home warranty company, that's why I know I can charge them for the refrigerant, that temporary refrigerant too, and I get paid for it. All right, these back people.